Interception game against Henry Burris in Toronto last year. Argos won that game. Calgary won the opener here against Toronto. And there's Johnny Forzani with a catch. I'm the stop, but Johnny Forzani has moved the chains again for the Calgary Stampeders.
A supplementary draft. Johnny Forzani in 2010 had a great training camp, and talking to John Huffnagel, he raved about how well John Forzani played throughout training camp. He didn't drop many. He's got a good grasp of the concepts they're trying to implement in the Calgary offense, and should see a lot of playing time because of it.
13 for Forzani. Stampeders are marching. Burris takes a look and now on a roll, getting chased by rookie Foley, and he'll just throw this one into the seats, into the first row, and that's the first incompletion of the game for Henry Burris.
And an incompletion by choice. He just ran out of target, ran out of room. Ended up with one receiver on that side when he rolled that far, so a fan gets a souvenir and he avoids a mistake.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. There's Dave Dickinson, who is the offensive coordinator this year for the Stampeders. See what he's got called on 2nd and 10 at the 27 of Toronto. Quick hitter over the middle. There's Nick Lewis brought down, and that'll be close to the first down.
Going to be very close. It was a real sheer tackle by Willie Pyle. It was a blitz coming from the linebackers for the Toronto Argonauts. They came after him. Henry Burris read it quickly, and Nick Lewis had to get inside position on Willie Pyle. He jumps it, makes a good clean tackle. This will be very close.
Nick Lewis 5th in receiving last year, and now number 3 on the all-time Calgary Stampeder receiving list, behind only Alan Pitts and Tom Forzani. Michael Bishop comes into the game in short yardage.
Calgary Stampeders don't want to play Henry Burris on short yardage, so it's Bishop with just a practice or two.
Wow. Takes the handoff off the left side, and he'll have the first down. Pottinger the tackle, and Michael Bishop is back in the Canadian Football League.
He is, and one thing you know about Michael Bishop is that he's got a cannon for an arm, and he's got a big body, so not much of a gamble. You just has to make sure you can get that snap clean from Tim O'Neill, something he's probably worked on at length over the last 48 hours since arriving in Calgary, and he just dives forward.
Said he was staying ready, waiting by the phone. He didn't have his passport updated, so it was a little later getting in. But now the Stampeders look at the 12th play of the drive, and out of the backfield, there's the former Cochrane Cobra, Rob Cote, with the catch out of the fullback spot, and he is knocked out of bounds after a 5-yard gain at about the 12-yard line.
Real controlled, conservative play for Calgary to get good production on first down. Even when you're down inside the 20-yard line, to get into 2nd and 5, Henry Burris is looking at first down. He just wants to extend the drive before looking into that end zone.
So it's 2nd down, mid-range play, and Kenyon Rambo on second effort may have lost a yard or two as he gets drilled back. And we'll check the spot here. Looks like 3rd down, and the field goal team's got to come on.
I think you're going to be a little short. I know exactly what Dave Dickinson was thinking there. Rather than start to think end zone when you just crack inside that 20-yard line, he wanted to continue to run the offense. That's why we saw Rob Cote out of the backfield. Nice intermediate throw there. Now they're going to be a little short and have to try a field goal attempt. But Dave Dickinson wants to continue to run the offense even though he's inside the 20.
So Rob Maver, after missing from 32, has a 17-yard chip shot. And Maver puts it through. Stampeders up by 4. First quarter in Calgary. Thank you, David. Happy 144th, Canada. We're here at McMahon Stadium, 4-0 Calgary. How about that drive? 15 plays, 91 yards. They take 7:46 off the clock, and yet just settle for 3.
Yeah, and don't really have much momentum out of it. I mean, you want to finish those drives at home to start the season.
Maver to kick off. And here's Chad Owens on the return. Owens up around the 40-yard line, taken out at the Argo bench. Carl McCartney there on the tackle. The Argos have had 4, and they trail by only 4. Malik Jackson shaken up on that kick return. And here's the handoff to Corey Boyd. Charleston Hughes rides him down close to the 40-yard line as we set the Argonaut offense for 2011.
We talked about Cleo Lemon, Corey Boyd with 13:59 on the season a year ago. Added 6 touchdowns. There's the receiving corps. Spencer Watt a little nicked. You got Chad Owens out at wide receiver. And then in your offensive line, Rob Murphy at left tackle. Nominee for outstanding lineman last year for the Argonauts.
Starting lineup brought to you by Rhoda, proud sponsor of the CFL and its 8 teams. 2nd and 6, Cleo Lemon out of the pocket, steps up and dives to the 50-yard line and should be close to the first down.
He's pulled it down a couple of times early in this game and seems to be having a little bit of an issue reading the defense and getting the ball out of his hands in a hurry there, something that Jim Barker thought throughout the preseason he did very well, saying that it looked like that was the greatest improvement, his recognition of defense from last year and his ability to get rid of the football on time and quick, a little bit quicker than he did a year ago. He's also healthy this year, that throwing hand surgically repaired that he played with at the end of last season.
And a chain link cord too short, so it's going to be 3rd down. Jim Barker says he wants to see a better pass percentage from Lemon this year. Last season 61.7, wants more of a deep attack than a season ago, and like to see him use his feet a little bit more, and we saw it on that last play that comes up just short of the first down. So the jumbo team in for the Argos on 3rd and inches. And Lemon pushing behind Dominic Picard. Cedric Gagne-Marcoux will have the first down against that Calgary defense.
Let's take a look at that defense and look at the starting lineup for Calgary. Up front, you got Clay Brooks, Corey Mace in the interior of that defensive line. Then you go back into the linebacking court, Jawan Simpson, 71 tackles on the year, the middle linebacker spot. Malik Jackson a little nicked. We'll get an update on his status. And there's the secondary without Brandon Browner or Dwight Anderson on the corners. Jeff Tisdale and Greg Fawcett took those jobs, and Malik Jackson will get an update on his health because he was a little nicked on his special teams a couple plays ago.
2nd-year linebacker Carl McCartney is in, and Lemon gets that away, and Chad Owens down the sidelines, bounced out at the 41-yard line. He took a heck of a jolt at the end of that play, but Nick Lewis will help him up.
Boy, did he ever, man. And one that was, it looked like could have been unnecessary, but you got to give Chad Owens a little credit here. Maybe he gets an extra half a foot or something right here. He could have stepped out of bounds, chose not to, took a big hit, and got another half a yard. A player, Chris, that when you watch him with the football in his hands, everybody in the park here in Calgary gets a little uneasy, and in Toronto up on their feet because he can take it to the house in one play. 18 yards and a first down for the Argos at the Calgary 40. And here is Corey Boyd trying the right side. And not much there on the final play of the opening quarter at McMahon. Stampeders with the lead. Numbers after 15 minutes would give you the impression it should be more than 4-0 for the Calgary Stampeders. Yeah, that's what's interesting about these numbers. Look at the time of possession. Big time in Calgary's favor, also the number of offensive plays, and yet they haven't been able to get any momentum from that offensive dominance because it's happened in between the 30s and haven't been able to finish those drives. So Toronto hangs around, and as a road team, Chris, that's what you want to do on the road. You want to hang around so that you can finish strong.
And not surprising, this Argo defense has always been one of those bending defenses, gives up a lot of yards, but as we've mentioned, the fewest points in the league last year.
Yeah, no question. So it's playing right into their hand, the road team. Now we want to see again, and I know a lot of Argonaut fans would like to see Cleo Lemon start to get that passing game going. Everyone talking about how confident he looked throughout the preseason. Well, we have to see it now in the regular season.
Chad Owens has been his favorite target so far in this game, whereas you saw on the graphic that Henry Burris has already utilized most of his weapons. But the Argos have something going here. They have a 2nd down and 7 at the Calgary 38. out of the shotgun. Pressure on to the flat. And there's Boyd out of the backfield, and he's pushed out as Corey Mace and Justin Phillips both on the scene for the Stampeders, limiting the gain.
A play like that from Cleo Lemon, he's got to get the football to Corey Boyd in a hurry, because that will give Boyd the chance to turn around and do what he does best, which is make people miss or run over them in the open field. It waited a little too long. Corey Boyd ran out of room, and the play is not going to be successful because of it.
Argos working into the wind here in this second quarter, so they will not try a long field goal. Instead, Noel Prefontaine, the left footer, with a line drive that'll bounce down inside the 10-yard line. It'll be a 5-yard no yards penalty as Taylor is swarmed at the 8. Welcome back to McMahon as we check in on the sidelines tonight. Sarah Orleski.
Well, Chris, we know that there have been some marquee departures for the Calgary Stampeders, but one area that John Hufnagel really wanted to bolster this offseason was his special teams, and specifically his coverage teams, as well as his return game. And to that end, the team signed 2009 CFL Special Teams Player of the Year, Larry Taylor. And the hope is that finally they have found that marquee returner. Last year, they did not have a single kick returned for a touchdown. When I asked John Hufnagel if he felt that they had finally made that step with the acquisition of Taylor, he said, well, I certainly hope so. Now, so with Chad Owens and Taylor in the game, there's a potential for a lot of big plays here. As a side note, an injury update with Malik Jackson. We saw him go to the locker room at the end of the first quarter. He will not return this half. We're hoping to have an update after the half.
Thank you, Sarah. There's a big play for one of the Calgary stretch receivers, Robbie Bryant, 39 yards from Henry Burris.
Yeah, Henry Burris must have looked at that Toronto secondary and thought, this doesn't happen very often, have to take advantage of it, and that's a bust. And the reason for it is that one of the Argos tripped and fell.